Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator here on Stappenbach. And yeah, we had this little tiny field of potatoes, which didn't actually go very well. And partly it was because I made some horrendous mistakes, like driving around on the field with the wrong tyres. And we can't actually change the tyres on, or the wheels on this tractor. We needed narrows. We should have had narrows on this one. And that aside, even if I hadn't used the narrows, what I should have done is I should have gone and got a topper and gone and topped all the potatoes off first, because then I could have driven up and down with these wheels without damaging the crop in, well, as far as the game is concerned. But most people said I should have been using narrow tyres in order to do this. That would have been a better way of doing it. Now, I gotta be honest, I didn't think that people harvested potatoes with narrow tyres. I've heard about sugar beet here being done with narrow tyres quite frequently, but I thought that potatoes weren't done with narrows because, generally speaking, potato harvesters are offset, so you don't actually need the narrow wheels in order to do it. But anyway, that's what we did. We made a catalogue. Well, I say we, I suppose technically, if you want to be like that, it was me that made a catalogue of errors. But it's done, okay? So there's no point in sort of beating anybody up over it. There's no point in any of that nonsense, right? It's all done. We can move on and say no more. So, what we're going to need is a few more potatoes than what we've got. The Tatipo supply is a little bit limited. Now, we do have a field that's right next to the beef farm, right here. However, it's kind of gone a little bit strange with how it's ripened. It's ripened only on half of it. I'm going to go and take a look at this field a minute, and yeah, it's that ain't quite right. That ain't quite right, sunshine. There's something not right there. So if we ignore that field and we ignore this field here, which is all sugar beets, we need to go over to field 18 now. Field 18 is rather large. This is my concern, and rather large also means rather costly. I mean, we've got field 2 over there, which is a little one. We've got this field 26 over here. Hang on a minute. Yeah, potatoes, tatipos. Field 26 over here is a nice long field, so we've got some good long clean runs on it. That could actually be the one we want, because we want a field that's going to give us a few potatoes. We want a decent quantity of potatoes, but we don't want so many that we're going to be flooded with them for years to come, and we also want to be able to actually harvest them. This one here is 200,000. We don't quite have 200,000. We could probably scrape it together, but then that's everything that we can buy. Now, I mean, if we head on up to field 19 over here, this one's 95,000. That's a little more like it. That is more along the lines of what we would want, and I reckon that we could harvest this field fairly efficiently. We get the old Tektron Machini Medulla and get that one going round and round that field, and it's just a short run up the road back to the beef unit over here. Let's just take a look at this field over here. Okay, that's the wrong one. It's not that's field 26 there. I should have looked underneath that. That probably would have given me a fair clue as to what we're looking at. 68,000.84 hectares. That's actually not bad. Because of the length of the field, there's some very clean runs on this. So I think this is the field we need to do. I think we get this one. 65,000. I think that this is the one we want. We're going to get a self-propelled harvester to do this field. So let's buy that field right there for 68,000. We're going to get a self-propelled harvester to do that, and we'll lease it. But before we do that, we need to do this. Now, I have been told that I have got the right place here, but it doesn't tip, so I've got a force tip. So I'm hoping that force tip does actually work. I really am. Right, let's bring that out. It didn't work the same as silage works, but I was told that if you force tip in there, it should work. This is what people told me. I'm trusting you all here, people. I'm trusting you. Let me bring that back a little bit. And I can turn the corner with it. There we go. Right. Now let's have a look. So I've got the potatoes in there. Let's go over, and yes, it does actually count. And you don't have to move the potatoes over. You don't have to do anything with them. So all we need now is some wheat, barley, or maize in here. We've got lots of barley. We could bring a load of that over here, and we can then the beef cattle are actually going to start producing some beef cattle, which is fantastic. This is what we want. This is like the ultimate goal of this is what we've been trying to achieve all this time. Let's take this one. I know he's not folded up at the moment, but I've got we've disabled the traffic for now. Quite a number of people have said on and off over the last couple of weeks that they're noticing little lag spikes on this, and I've noticed some lag spikes as well myself. I'm not entirely sure what's causing them, but I suspect that it might be to do with the traffic, because we know from past experience that traffic does cause lag spikes in FS17, and even the very best maps, and this is among those that would class as the very best maps, have trouble with lag spikes caused by traffic. It's just a thing that happens because of the AI on the traffic. There's nothing we can do about that, but we'll just try running the game with the traffic turned off for a while, because it is a bit of a nuisance getting through the town with all those cars. We've seen it in action. We've seen all the cars around, and we've sort of seen what that's like. So I don't think it's going to be a bad thing that we get rid of the traffic for a while. What is a bad thing is probably... Oh, actually, I can swing in round there, I think. Yep. Right, now if I back up this way, just back up there, keep going, keep going, keep going, and there we go. Right, we can unload those Tasty Poes into there, and then we can get rid of that roper. That one can be returned. And our next task is, well, we got two tasks. One is to go and lease a new potato harvester and get that one back to the new field that we've just bought and start harvesting that field. Right, and what I'll do is I'll probably take 3 or 4 slices off the end of each, I was going to say the end of each field, each end of the field, and I may even take more than that. If we go like 5 or 6 slices, we've got plenty of room to turn around on the end of each field. At the end of each field? At each end of the field! Come on! So yeah, we'll make sure that we can turn at the ends of the field. And then once we've done that, we can just let the hired help carry on and do that, so that we don't have to stay there and nurse it, because I don't really want to have to spend hours and hours just watching the thing go up and down the field, because there's other things I want to do as well. I nearly forgot my weekly question. It carries on again this week. We run it for 2 weeks now. What map do you want to go to next for our next 4-week stint? We have been here now. It will make 8 weeks here. We haven't made 8 weeks yet, but we will be here for 8 weeks. So, do you want to stay here for another 6 weeks? 4 weeks. Do you want to stay here for another 4 weeks? Do you want us to do yet another 4-week stint? You know what? We're just going to unhitch that one there, and the dealership's going to come and collect it. It's just going to be easier if they do it like that. So we'll just order up the dealership a minute, and they can come and collect this one. There we go. The Pecan we're keeping hold of, but that one there, the Roper, that is being returned. Yes. Okay, job done. Now, let's go back to the shop, and we will get our next harvest. Potato harvester right there, the Grim potato harvester there, lease for 37,752. We can't afford to buy it, so we've got no other choice in the matter. We've got to lease this bad boy. Right. So, yeah, do you want to stay here on Stappenbach for another 4-week stint, or would you rather go somewhere else? The other 4 options that we have available for you this week are PGR Bruzda, which has recently been updated. We've also got the new map South Mountain Creamery, and then we've got Pacific Inlet Logging, because I do occasionally get requests for a logging map, and of the 3 logging maps that are available on ModHub, this one is, in my opinion, there's no probably about it, this one is the best one of the log 100% logging maps. This one's been designed specifically with like creating your own farm in mind, so you don't just have to do logging. It's been designed, it's been leveled out, it's had grass added all over it so that you can progress from logging to making your own farm. And that's a nice aspect of it. It's not just about logging, it's about basically carving your own farm out of the wilderness, which I do like. It's a nice touch to it. But anyway, that's Pacific Inlet Logging. Or we've got Lossberg. Lots of small fields. A fair-sized map, but it all seems to be very, very small fields. I always get people asking me to play Lossberg. So we've got 4 other maps there. We can stay here for another 4 weeks. Stay here on Stappenbach. Or we can go to PGR Bruzda, South Mountain Creamery, Pacific Inlet Logging, or Lossberg. It's your vote. It's your game. Head into the comment section. Let us know which one you want and why. And of course, don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right-hand corner. And for those of you who are unsure how to actually cast your vote in the top right-hand corner, just mouse over, tap, whatever, if you're on a handheld device, tap up in the corner. You should get a circle with a little eye in the middle of it come up. At least you should. And you interact with that one. If it's not coming up, try checking the options on your device, on your game, your computer, whatever. Try checking options, because apparently, and I didn't know this until just a week or 2 ago, if you've got the... now, what is it? It's... if you've got annotations, I think it is. If you've got annotations turned off, you won't be able to see the vote. It won't work for you. A few people have said that it wasn't working for them until they switched annotations on. So if you switch the annotations on, then you'll be able to do it. What I don't like about fields with potatoes is when the trees are really close to the edge. Because if the trees are really close to the edge, you can't get through the potato harvester because it hangs up on the edges of the trees. Now, a lot of people have pointed out, those of you who have done potatoes in real life, that you would never, ever, 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 ever have the potatoes this close to the edge of the field. And I concur. A number of people who live in Cornwall, here in the UK, right down in the southwest of the UK, the same as what I do, I live in Cornwall in the UK, have pointed out that you would never see potatoes this close to the edge of the field in a potato field. You just don't see it, because they leave strips on the headlands so that you can turn around with the machinery. They don't fill the field right out to the very edge. It's just not something you would see, unless you've got like a really big field, and then they still leave corners. There's always a space for you to turn around. I have seen it right up to the headland on a clean field without trees overhanging it, on sort of a long field, so that the person can go right along the headland, and there's a whole load more there that you can get with the potato harvester. But there's a big patch in the corner where you can turn around and you're not driving on the crop. It's not going to fill up the entire field. You just don't do it. It doesn't happen. And a lot of people said that you don't get that. It's, especially on small fields, you would not get it going right to the very edge of the field. It wouldn't happen, because you wouldn't be able to turn around. There'd be no way. You'd end up driving on the crop. You'd end up destroying the potatoes. So yes, I am aware of that. So this is a little bit unrealistic, but I think it's a little bit much beyond the coding capabilities of the game, and I wouldn't expect to see it change for the next iteration of the game either. I suspect that what we will see is the same as what we had in this one for FS17, in that you don't have hedgerows and fences around the fields. You'll have open areas on the ends of the fields, and to sort of allow you to work the field and then turn round off the edge of the field. That's what I think is going to happen. It might not. It might not. It might be... it might actually be sort of more similar to what we've got here. We've actually got hedgerows and limits to the fields and all sorts. You never know. At the moment, we just don't know very much about it. Now, I understand that the Estancia Lapacho map is... Actually, has that been confirmed, or is that still just rumour from the rumour mill? The rumour is... It is sometimes difficult to separate things from the rumour mill from real life, because the rumour mill is always grinding out new rumours, and it is sometimes a bit of a bother to try and establish what is what. So we'll see what we can do with that. As for me giving updates on FS19, I am going to start trying. I think I said this last week, actually. But a lot of you said that you do want to hear me giving my views and opinions on the updates for FS19. Now, I don't know how frequently I can do this to start with. Certainly through August, you probably won't get any. I might be able to get one in. I might be able to get one in somewhere. It's school holidays and my children are home, and so I want to be able to spend as much time as I possibly can with them, and doing extra videos obviously eats into that time. So I'm sure that all of you will understand that. I will, as soon as they go back to school, I can then start looking at it in a bit more depth, and we can certainly seriously consider a regular series, or, well, just when we get drip-fed information from Giants, I can in turn read it out to you. And that seems to be the general way that most of the other YouTubers are doing it. They basically just take what's been said and say it again. And this is why I haven't been doing it. I gotta be honest, this is exactly why I haven't been doing it, because it kind of seems, well, you know, you all see it, so why do I need to read it all out to you? But what you've all said is, what the comments were, is you're not wanting to... Some of you said that you do just want to hear it in my voice. That's all. You're not particularly concerned about the content. You just want me to read out what it is, but you want to hear it in my voice because you thought it would be good. I'm actually quite flattered about that. I really am. So I am going to try not to let that go to my head. But I really do appreciate that. I think that's really awesome. That really made my day. Reading comments like that, it actually genuinely made my day. I was absolutely thrilled to bits. You want me to do it just because you want to hear it read out in my voice, and that's it. No other reason. You just want me to do it. And I was absolutely delighted by that. I thought, well, that's brilliant. That's amazing. I genuinely didn't expect that, and so I was really pleased. I was extremely pleased that day. I showed my wife, and she said, if I keep getting too many comments like that, I'm going to think that I'm something special. Which I thought was a bit rude, really. Oh dear. Apparently I'm not something... Oh, no, we've escaped. Right, yeah, I showed my wife a couple of those comments like that, and she said, oh dear, you're going to get a big head if you keep reading things like that. I think you should stop reading the comments, which I thought was quite funny. So, yeah, I really did appreciate that. But no, a lot of others of you said that not only would you like to hear it read out in my voice, but you also want to hear the opinions that I invariably give with absolutely everything I do. Even when I try to be impartial and just give, you know, the straight facts with no opinions whatsoever, I usually end up dropping in some opinions there somewhere. So that's the other thing that you wanted, was you wanted me to tell you what's happening with it and then give my opinions on the subject. Do I like it? Do I dislike it? And because there are those people out there who will no doubt be reading it all out, and but yeah, and that's great and all, but they very often won't say anything negative. And I know that there are quite a few YouTubers that do this. They will never ever say a negative word about anything because it can impact what they're allowed access to. But I've never had a problem with this. I've never had a games developer turn around and say to me, we're not letting you have our game because you said something negative about a different game. It's never happened to me. And I almost, well, I say almost invariably, I do. If I'm playing something, I'll look at it, whether it's a mod, whether it's a map, whether it's a new game, whatever it might be, I will look at it and I will give an honest opinion. And I've been asked by developers before now to review a brand new game that they've released, and I will always say up front, if you want me to review the game, you know, I'm more than happy. I would love to review the game. Just keep in mind that I will not have a scripted, it will not be scripted. I will give my honest opinion. If I don't like it, I will say I don't like it. If there's a problem with it, I will say there's a problem with it. And if you know, and good points as well. So I will do the same with FS19, regardless of the consequences. If I really don't like something, I will say so. However, I've been looking at the dev blogs as they come out and all the information that is currently being fed out about the game. I have yet to see anything that is going to make me say, whoa, dude, step too far. We don't want this kind of... We don't want this rubbish in our game. Everything so far seems like some kind of bizarre dream. It's like they've listened to absolutely everything that everybody has ever wanted and crammed it all together in the game, and somehow done it successfully as well. Because you know what happens when people do things like that? You know, you do get the occasional dev that will try to... Oh, hang on a minute. I need to go there, and I want to do that, up and down, and there. That's right. Okay, so we just want to go up and down now with the field like this. Hopefully this will work. Hopefully, he says. Seems to be. Yep. Right, we'll just run, we'll watch this one down to the end of the field, and then we can go and get a trailer. Well, the first thing we're going to do with the trailer is we're going to run back to the farm, and we're going to grab a load of grain, and we're going to bring back the beef cattle and put it in for them, so then they have got some grains to get started on. Then we can stuff some more potatoes in there as well, and then after that we've got other things that I want to do. What do you mean I don't? I'm clearly in the field that I own, okay? Don't go getting funny with me. It's not him in there. No, it's not you, mate. You're doing a great job. You, Sunshine, the one that owns this field. Look, can you see right here? See this track up here? The middle of this track is actually the boundary. All right. Now look, you might think you're really clever wearing your camouflage and hiding in the grass and so on, but if you're screaming from a loudspeaker, you don't own this field. It's kind of giving your position away. Now, this line right here, this is the border, and my machine was over here. It was nowhere near your field, so you stay over there, you keep out of it. Do we understand each other? Yeah? Good. Okay, glad. I'm glad we sorted that out. Now then, where was I? FS17. I haven't seen anything bad about the game yet. I really haven't. It's it looks fan-schmabulous. It really does. I have not seen a bad thing about the game yet. So I can't imagine that we're going to get any... I can't imagine we're going to get very much from it, certainly from the dev blogs that I'm not going to like. We did recently get a video of a John Deere. Well, I can't remember which one it was, which model it was exactly, but it was one of the John Deeres. And having shared it on my Facebook page... I did get a little bit of feedback from that one in that people didn't like the look of the actual game. Now, it does say work in progress footage, and I think you should keep in mind that that was work in progress footage, which means that there's a lot more still to do. Now, it's months before the release, okay? And yes, there's no ground response on the basic footage, but we weren't looking, I don't think it was meant to show us the map. All right, I don't think I think ignore the map. That's what I think we should be doing. We should ignore the map completely, and we're looking at the actual tractor, and the tractor itself looked a bit of a beast. Quite frankly, it looked a bit of a beast, and the sort of thing that most of us would be very glad to add to our fleet. As for the map itself, nope, there wasn't ground response, but I mean, ground response is not actually that big a thing, and it's fairly simple to do. Now, it's very likely that it's something that's going to be added in afterwards. It could very well be done like they did this time round, where they made the base game without the ground response, and the ground response is basically a mod that you can choose to put in afterwards. And they added it for consoles as well. You got the ground response, it's there if you want it. Personally, I think it would be wonderful if they do that again, because trying to use I don't use ground response in my time-lapse videos, because if you do, it looks horrific. It genuinely looks absolutely horrifying because of the bouncing up and down. It doesn't run smoothly at all. It is terrible. I never use ground response in my time-lapse, and I'm hoping and praying that they're not going to force any kind of ground response onto us, and that it will be an optional extra. For this series, I've got the ground response. It looks good. Alright, there's no question about it whatsoever. For this, it does look good, but it does not look good in all situations, and so I really hope that it is not forced on us in all situations, because quite frankly, it's going to spoil things. So I really think that we should ignore some of the footage of the map from that little video about the John Deere and look at the other bits instead. Look at the details of the tractor, and that's the bit that they were showing us, and they got work in progress footage because they know that people are going to start freaking out about the actual game footage and the map and say, oh no, it's all over now, it's never going to be any good. Don't do that. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. It really is. Now, how do we do this? I'm not actually sure how this works. Obviously, don't go there. Oh! Do I have to... Right, if I go in here, open door... No, I don't want to do that. Activate farm silo system. There. Ah! Right. So, activate it, you do that. And that allows you to withdraw grain from the farm silo system. So, I actually need... I've turned my trailer around because I wanted to back up there. I didn't want to do that. I'm going to have to turn it back around. We're going to go back in under there. Well, that's awkward, isn't it? We'll bring that there. It's a good job we've got a good turning circle on this tractor, is all I can say. Bring that one back in around. There we go. Now we're talking. There. Right. And then I need to go... I should just detach. Enable IC. No. Tip side back. Change tools. No. Why aren't you working? You should be working. Do I need to open the grain door? I'll bring that one over there. I'm going to move this around a little bit. We're going to try and straighten this up a bit. Just ignore the fact that I'm completely shredding the tyres on the sides of this thing. Just pretend that's not happening. We'll back that bad boy up there like that. And I'm going to press R for fill. No. Why aren't you working? Do I need to climb out? Alright, let's climb out. Let's go and have a look over here. What do we got? I got that one there. Oh. No way. No way. Start. You've actually got to get out, go over to it, and do it from the control panel there. You can't just order a refill right from the start on here, from this bit up here. That's really cool. I've never actually properly used this system, so I'm not entirely sure how it would work. But that is genuinely brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. It really is. I'm very pleased about that. Okay, so we're going to fill this one right up with barley. As soon as this one is full, we've then got to run this back to the beef cattle and tip it out. Then we've got to run up the road to our potato harvester and empty that one out. And then bring that, that's going to be 20 tons of potatoes. We'll bring those 20 tons of potatoes back to the beef and we'll empty those out there as well. Then I think we might be getting close to ready to getting the next stage of things going as well. We got a lot of stuff to do and not so much time to do it in. Right. That's that bit done there. I'm not going to worry about another load of this just for the minute because I don't think we need to worry about it just yet. We've got more in here. We've got plenty here. So if I press O to switch out and off, the spout moves off out the way and I can go over to here. So I need to try and turn this around. Oops. Help if I didn't, bump into things. Bumping into things is generally frowned upon when you're working on a farm. Very often, anyway. We'll just bring that up there. Go on. Can I do this? Can I get round this corner? If I can go up that way there. There we go. Bring that to there. Then back. There we go. Look at that. Beautifully done. Right. Back to the beef unit. In theory, we should just be able to go straight in through here, over the grain piece thing right there, the grain bins, the grain depository, and tip out. There's a bit of a squeeze on there. It really is. Right. Stop. And tip. There. Look at this. Look at this. We have now got wheat. Well, we got barley in there. We've got potatoes in here. We've got water in here. We've got Mutterind, which is the mother cows. Mutter is mother. And now we've got wheat. Barley, sorry, it's barley. And we've got grass. We've got 64,000 litres of grass in here. We've got straw, 32,000 litres. I don't know if they use all of the item, everything in here at exactly the same rate. But we can do a quick sort of check on this because it's 31 and 64 and 32 for wheat, grass, and straw, respectively. And then 6698 for potatoes. And we can always come back and have a little look at that again in a while, once we've gone and done a few other things. So we want to swing up round here. I think we can just go right round, going round the mulberry bush. Gonna need to move that trailer out of the way. Hang on, no, I've got a fast track tractor kicking around here somewhere. Where is it? Let's get that fast track tractor. And there it is. If I get you on a minute, and you are going to be very, very useful for me now. I'm going to come back down here, and you are very, very usefully going to hook on, and we're going to move you out of the way. Get that trailer there out of the way, and then we can just spin round in a circle without any problems whatsoever, and it's all going to be very, very easy for us. Go on, up you go. Move up there. A little bit more. Perfect. Right, you stop there. And now you can come out this way, and probably the best way to go would be this way, round here. Yep. So we want to come out this one, out onto the road, and we do want to turn right out here. There we go. And then we go racing on up the road up this way. Why is my indicator not turned off? It should have switched off then. And it would help if I drove on the correct side of the road as well. I know that I've got traffic turned off at the moment, but we still want to try and at least give a nod towards doing things realistic. Look at what we did to that field over there. Let's just pretend that never happened, shall we? Let's just pretend that we didn't go and obliterate our neighbour's field whilst trying to get a few scraps of mouldy potatoes out the corner from underneath the trees. Let's just pretend that never happened. This is probably going to end up costing us dear, I suspect. Where's the road? There should be a lane coming off here somewhere. It's not there. What is that one? What is that building right there? I really don't know. What am I running around on? It's a building. Is it just like a random building? Oh, no. We've got stuff to give away. We've got... There's a whole... Ooh. Right. What am I stood on? Purchase, fill... Oh, that's water. That's the water trough there. I'm stood on top of... Is this... This is sheep, isn't it? I can't quite see the symbol. No, this is pigs. Ah. This is the pig unit here. There it is. There's the sign for it. So we've got the pig unit right here. We don't have the grains for the... There we go. I have a heart for pigs. At southern outskirts of Uterhansbach, and directly beside the big biogas plant, you can buy this pig farm for 565,000 euros. Tad on the expensive side, really. Well, it looks like the road goes through this way, but the little tiny bridge with like edges to the bridge, and I don't think I can get across here properly. I think we should have gone... Oh. I can just get round it. I really don't think this is the way we should be going, though. I don't think that bridge is going to be able to support the weight of this tractor with 20 tons of potatoes on board. I just got this niggling little feeling in the pit of my stomach that it's just not going to happen. So if I park that tractor and trailer right there a minute, we'll turn the beacons off, and we'll go over to this one, like this, and we will get rid of the hired help for a second. Swing back round. There was the most recent dev blog. I still haven't actually had time to go and read it through for FS17. It was talking about the new mission system, and from what I got, I didn't look at all of it, but it does look pretty good. Like my preliminary sort of quick glance over, they're completely redoing the whole thing, and missions are all taken from one place, and you can choose to use your own machinery. You can choose to use the farmer's machinery. There's all kinds of different options and stuff to be available with it. Generally speaking, it looks pretty good. I was quite impressed with what I seen there. I mean, like I said, I'm generally pretty impressed with most of what I've seen for that entire game so far. It is looking really, really cool. And right, I got 20 tons of potatoes on board here. Now, here's the thing. If I go up this way, I have to go along that road all the way up there and then all the way back there and then back around. Whereas this one, I just go up there and then down the road. But I don't know if I can fit across that bridge. To be honest, I'm not sure I should be trying to go across that bridge. I've worked on plenty of farms. There, see, this is where that guy's getting upset. It's because I keep driving on his grass. That's why he's yelling at me. I've worked on enough farms to know that you take the long way round. You frequently take the long way round, because if you can't fit across the bridge, or, you know, your vehicle's too heavy for the bridge, you really don't want to be doing this. Right, we get partway across this bridge, and then you hear a sort of a crunching sound. That's not going to make the people like you. That's not going to make you very popular. Now, I can actually get across there without any problem. I'll tell you what. We'll just do a quick investigation. Because we're new here, we got across there was no crunching sound. What is the structural integrity of this bridge like? To be quite honest, I think it'd probably be alright, because it's big concrete slabs going across underneath. And then we've got railway sleepers over the top of that. There's nothing... That's a heavy-duty bridge. That is a heavy-duty bridge. It seems to be designed to carry my trailer loads of potatoes. I think we'll be alright. So long as we can fit round that corner. It does require a bit of careful driving, but I still think we can do it. So we get this 20 tons of potatoes up here, and then while that machine is busy filling up with a few, it's all, oh no, it's 17%. I thought it was already full. If I just gone sailing past the beef, I don't think I have. No, I haven't. No, it's up here. I thought I had. I thought it was before the lake. It's not. It's after the lake. Yeah, so while the Grim Tektron is busy filling up with potatoes again, we can go, and there's another thing that I want to get so that we can start looking at our next job. Very, very next job that we want to do. Now, I did say I was going to do it this time, but obviously we do need potatoes. These cows need potatoes. They're not going to live if they don't have potatoes. Before we tip anything out, let's have a look and see if there's any changes. Okay, it was 66... Was it 6689? We've dropped 15 on the straw. 30 way, because it was 32,000. We've dropped 30 on the grass, and we've dropped 17 on the wheat. The potatoes I don't think have dropped anywhere near as much. I'm pretty sure they were 6689. So they've only dropped a very small amount. I'll have to go back and have a look at it. Well, somebody, if you've been paying attention to the video, just stick it in the comments section. How much has the potato level dropped by? I reckon we're probably going to be alright for potatoes. I got a feeling that they will last us, and that the thing is designed so that you don't have to worry about the potatoes, like hugely worry about them. Also, what happens if you put more than 100,000 litres in here? Because it's designed for 100,000. It says 100,000. What happens if I put like 120,000 in here? Okay, I'm putting full trailer loads. I'm not going to get that far with the field that we've got. But supposing I was doing a different field and pulling it all out, what would we do then? What would the situation be with that? Does anybody know? I know that quite a lot of you actually play this map because it is that good. It is an absolutely wonderful map. Now, if we go through here slowly, we should actually be able to fit through that bit with our tractor. Is it a bit of a tight squeeze on that? It could do with being just a fraction wider. Anyway, let's just pause here. Let's go back in a little bit so the cars don't knock themselves on our poor little minion out the front there. And we are going to go over here. Grass sale. Oh, of course, yeah. Okay, I know what the grass sale is now. There is somewhere here, we've got Raiffeisen. Okay, I don't know what all of these are. Like, Baywa Earth Grain. Oh, that's got to be something to do with potatoes and sugar beet. It's got to be. Something to do with potato. You know, we can have a look. We can go here. And so we got potatoes here. Agravis Earth Grain and Baywa. Oh, Baywa. Is that like something else? I don't know, but that takes all of those. And then we've got Earth Grain Air and Country Trade. They take potatoes and they also take the sugar beets. We've got sugar cane is also accepted at them. We've got manure there at BGA Stappenbach and Hansbach. So we've got 2 BGAs there that will take manure and will take liquid slurry. Have we got a symbol here for compost? That's not compost. Gardening. There, gardening and grass. So we can sell it at Grassell, but also gardening. I didn't want to do that. I want to go over here. So, somewhere in here is gardening. BGA, Agravis, Wholesale, Country Trade, gardening. There, right, visit. I don't know where this one is. Where? Oh, I see, right. And this is compost. This is compost. So we can bring loads of compost up here and back them in there, and we can actually sell them right there, which is pretty cool. I like that. And that is... Where are we at the moment? We're out on the side. Oh, I see. I know where we are now. Okay. We're not actually that far from anything, really. So we could sell some of our compost up here if we want to. I don't actually want to sell our compost up there, because what I would like to do is I would like to use it, and that is going to be our very next task. We are going to go in here. I still haven't used this bad boy here. 70,000 litres. And it takes both. Look, see, compost and manure. It's huge. This is part of the big bud pack. You can see there, big bud pack. I'd really like to use that one, but it's too big for this map. It really is. This one here is big enough. And I haven't used this one at all yet. This is 38,000 litres, which is quite a bit smaller than the 70,000 litres that this one takes. But that is a monster. That's 70 tons. Well, nearly. I mean, technically it's a bit out. I suppose it's actually going to be closer to... I mean, you think about 1,000 litres of solid manure, you're looking at, I would guess, around 50 tons. 50 tons is still a fair bit. But anyway, this is a 500 horsepower bad boy right here. $185,000, euros rather. 16,000 to lease, and that's what I want to do. I want to lease this one. Take that one right there. Back out and back out again. Where are you? There you are. There you are, you crazy thing, you. The Hydro Trike. Look at this. Look at this. Doesn't that look beautiful? It looks far better in real life than it does in his picture. You look at the picture there. Doesn't quite... I don't know. The picture doesn't seem to do it justice. This thing looks much better on here than it does it... Because it's more compact. It's more compact when you got it like this. This thing looks wicked cool. I like it. I really do. I love this thing. Look at it. Look at that. Look at the turning circle on this thing. That is awesome. Okay, this Hydro Trike. It's just... It's brilliant. And it looks very cool to drive as well. I would love to drive one of these in real life. Top speed is very nippy as well. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, we're going to nip in over here onto this side, and we're going to... Actually, what we need to do for this one is we need to be kind of like that for the first load. But I don't think we can mix compost and the other. I don't think we can mix compost and solid manure. I think they are actually classed as two separate things, so I don't think we're going to be able to mix them in this machine. So what we will do is we'll actually do our first load up here. Helper L has stopped work unexpectedly, unknown reason. It probably means he's gone and got himself caught up on a tree. No, what we'll do is for our first load, we'll bring it over this way, and then we'll load it up with the manure from the cattle in there. So we got that one there. That one's ready to go. Well, you just finished the field then, have you? That's not an unknown reason for stopping, is it? Let's just... I have finished. Oh, you haven't actually finished. You've got a little tiny bit left over here, but you decided that you didn't want to do it, and so you just said, I don't know what to do, sir. I don't know what to do. You're useless. You're fired. I will do the job myself. It's as simple as that. If you're not going to do it, if you're not going to just finish off this little bit here, no, you're fired. And no, I'm not paying you for the rest of the afternoon. Right? If you're so useless that you can't even do this, we've no idea what you've done with the rest of it. So just go home. Don't come back. Your employment is over. Employment is over, and don't expect a job with anybody else either, because I'm putting out the word. I'm putting out the word. From this point on, you will not be operating great big expensive machinery like this because you can't be trusted. Now then, bring this one on round here. I would be a terrible person to work for. I really would. I'm sure I would. I'd like to think that in real life I wouldn't be like that. I'm fairly confident I wouldn't be like that because I've worked for people like that. I really have, and they're not the most nicest of people. They're really not. And having worked for the people like that, I'm confident that I wouldn't let the power go to my head and be that person. I don't think I would. You never know. Maybe this is something that we shouldn't try out. There are some things that man is just not meant to know. I've heard this said before, and I think this may be one of those instances. Well, yeah. Anyway, moving on. If we just quickly finish this up, then we can start heading back here with the track so we can get this last lot unloaded at the very beginning of our next episode. We will then be ready to go and get our JCB, and we get that one loaded up, and we'll be all finished. Right, this one can just go here so that he is ready to unload. I'll bring it over around a little bit more. There, and stop. Right, job done. Back through here. There we go. That's the one that I want. Right, we will start driving up so that we can unload this load of potatoes. That is our potato harvest done. This time we've actually got some potatoes rather than just, you know, messing around with like a few tons. That field was a mistake. Okay, it was a catalogue of errors from beginning to end. So let's just pretend that that never happened, and we will look this way and admire the lake when we drive past it. That way, it never happened. If you can't see it, it didn't happen. That's I think that's a good thing to live by. Okay, so the weekly question: do you want me to stay on this map for another 4 weeks, or do you want me to move? So we can stay here for 4 weeks, or we can go to PGR Bruzda. Or we can go to, what was the other one? South Mountain Creamery Farm, which is a new one. It's not long come out. We can go to Lossberg, or we can go to Pacific Inlet Logging. That is a 100% logging map, and then you just carve yourself out some fields, and then you can start doing other stuff as well. So it's your vote, it's your game. Head into the comment section down below. Let us know which one you want and why. And of course, don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right-hand corner. And if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.